Dame Dash. I talked about him on the last podcast episode and how he wanted to resolve things with Jay-Z. And recently, Dame Dash has admitted something that made people think that the only reason he wants to resolve the issues with Jay-Z is because he is going through financial hardship, which I don't know if I believe. But let's go over the article. Dame Dash has admitted that he's losing money. So Dame Dash has had issues with child support over the years. In a brand new interview, he dug deep into why. Dash sat down with Dr. Tajay Moreno in a new episode of the America New Network program, the CEO Show. In one section, Dame explained the current state of business dealings and why that has led to problems paying child support. So let me play the clip for you guys so you guys can hear what he has to say.
Let's go back. Let's go back to the child support thing.
Oh, okay. I don't want to
because we didn't. You know that's.
Well, what
that's
I
a
was
big
saying
thing.
is,
So,
while
like,
I'm investing in something else, I might not be making the money and the profit, so I can't afford to pay out what I was when I was having EBITDA of $8 million a year. So you can't judge like how much I'm gonna pay out by how much I made 20 years ago.
okay.
And there's been a recession, and there's been a pandemic, and I've had to start a new company from scratch without any money to start it with. I had to do it rubbing paws, two sticks together. So I can't pay out $300,000 or $400,000 a year in child support because I ain't making that. But I'm not ashamed of that because I have things to show for it, but it hasn't profited yet. I'm like a proud broke, but it ain't broke because I have things to show for it. If you have bills of $80,000 a month and you made 70 that month and you 10 short, you feel broke. But you made 70,000 that month. You know what I mean? But that's business. I wish I could make 70,000 and just fuck it up on clothes and jewelry. But I gotta pay a staff. I gotta make content. I gotta market. And there's bills to be paid.
I'm not really familiar with a lot of child support cases, to be honest with you. I don't have kids. I hope I never end up in a situation where I'm dealing with child support because I've heard horrific stories. This is just all the more of a reason to take your time finding the right partner, take your time getting married. I know, as the years go on, probably people feel a lot more pressured, especially for females. It's unfortunate for their situations they're in because, during a certain amount of time, they then can't reproduce. And, it's an issue of that matter. Us guys, we got more, I guess, leniency in terms of getting married and, and then finally finding somebody. Plus, we usually end up dating younger than we do older, and women usually date older. So the older guys usually end up in a better situation where they can date, at a later age and marry at a later age. For me, I've been single for I think 3 years now, or 2.5 years, something like that. And I'm in no rush to be in a relationship. I'm focused on my business, diverse mentality, podcast, all this stuff that I'm doing. I think being in a relationship would just take away too much time from that. But if I end up running into the right woman and I'm in the right position in life where I feel like I'm happy where I'm at, then yeah, I have no problems with dating that person. But, for me, it would take about a year, actually, I want to say 2 years almost, until I actually want to consider marrying that person. I think everybody should take that because if you rush in any situation, you can end up in a situation like this where you're owing child support. And I just heard a lot of horror stories. This is another one of them where Dame Dash talking about he invested in a company, spent $8 million on it. The woman is taking that income from that company, and then Dame Dash is still expected to pay an insane amount of child support following that. I don't know how true it is. I'm not completely siding with Dame Dash. Who knows the full story? This is just Dame Dash's side of the story. Her story might be completely different. I don't know. I've just heard a lot of horror stories, and Dame is basically saying, listen, are you broke if you're making $70,000 but your bills are $80,000 a month? I mean, I don't know. That's a good question. $70,000 a month is insane money. That doesn't mean you're broke. I would kill to make $70,000 a month. That would be like a dream come true. I've never gotten anything close to that in a month. But I think expenses, though, if you look at lifestyle, when people start spending, when people start making a lot more, they start spending a lot more. even I started, once I started getting into YouTube, started making a little bit more than I normally would have ever made, I started spending a lot more. And I noticed that in myself. And, you also get into situations where you invest in things and hope that it starts to recoup your money, and hope that you start making the money back, or eventually you make a profit. Like the best example is this Get Rich or Die Trying documentary. I know I've mentioned it 90 million times on the podcast, but that's a documentary that I invested a lot of money into. Have I recouped the money? I think I haven't checked like the full analytics of everything, but I probably recouped about 30, maybe 40% of the money back so far. And it's been I want to say, when did I drop it? June, I think. Did I drop the video in June? I think I did in June. So halfway through June, so July, August, September, October. So it's been about 4 months, recouped about 30 to 40%. At this rate, it'll take about, I want to say, a year till everything is recouped, at least just making the money back of what I've invested. Then making a profit is a whole nother, argument. So speaking of that, I tweeted out, I wanted to do the Beg for Mercy documentary. I would have loved to do that, but I think there's a reason why I didn't recoup the money on Get Rich. And I think that reasoning is because even if I try to do let's just say I recouped the money on Get Rich and I tried to do the Beg for Mercy documentary, I don't think it would have been very hard for me to get all G Unit members to speak on this album or be in the same room. So God's plan, God's timing. I think there's going to be a perfect time to do that. Maybe the 25-year anniversary, and God forbid, hopefully nobody passes away in the next 5 years. And we can do a documentary at the 25-year anniversary. I don't know. Or maybe just do one at 21, 22-year anniversary. Doesn't matter to me. It doesn't have to be an anniversary type thing. It can just be a documentary on the album. That would be really cool. I'm getting off track here, but I'm just saying recouping money and stuff in business and investing, and then having to deal with child support is a whole different thing. And I saw a lot of people on social media kind of clowning Dame Dash and saying, he's only wanting to rekindle a relationship with Jay-Z because he's going broke. First off, it takes a man with balls to admit that they're struggling financially. That's not an easy thing to admit. And if Dame Dash is making $70,000 a month, he's not really struggling financially. He's just having right now a moment where he's not really making enough to provide for the things that he's doing right now. That doesn't mean that he's broke. It just means that he's gonna have to take on some credit, try to find some lenders that can give him some credit so that he can kind of float the ship a little bit longer and make sure that the businesses that he have keep going. But that's the thing with business is you're gonna have employees, you're gonna have investments that you make that don't make your money back. You're gonna have I just skipped over the employees, but you're gonna have employees that you hire that randomly leave or that randomly do something bad to you. I've had it happen to me, and you're gonna have those situations with people, man. I think people, on the employee side of things, when you hire people, there are people that feel entitled, and I had to deal with that during the Get Rich or Die Trying documentary. I fired the guy. He felt entitled that he should be the number one guy relating to things like this, and he felt like, hey, I'm the one that's steering the ship. When I was like, I don't know how that even happens or how to get to that point, but you get people that get jealous of just all kinds of things behind the scenes that you guys don't ever see, and then people wonder like, why did this person leave the podcast? Why did this happen? Why, what? You don't know. Like the Get Rich or Die Trying getting delayed, a lot of it had to do with that person and what they did behind the scenes. And then it had to do with my creative vision and how I wanted things to go. So business, a lot of things that you're going to have to deal with, man. It's not something that's for someone that, like people say, oh, I want to be my own boss, set my own hours, do my own thing. It's not that. It's not that, guys. You're literally working like you have no normal schedule. You're working 24/7 damn near. You miss out on a lot of things socially. You don't have things organized the way you would like until you reach a level that you're just making insane amount of money and you can hire a bunch of people to deal with the day-by-day things, and you're only taking on a few things. Like if you're a Jeff Bezos or Jeff Bezos, Amazon CEO or former CEO, he said, there was a point where I was doing everything, and then there's a point now where I'm a billionaire where I'm not doing everything. I'm just dealing with 2 to 3 tasks a day, and that's it. And when you get to that point, where you can hire a bunch of people to deal with a lot of different things, then you're a little bit more at ease and you can set your hours and you can relax a little bit more. You can go on those vacations. You can spend time with family, so on and so forth. But it takes a while to get to that point. And I think a lot of people don't realize that. People just think, It's light work. It's nothing. If it was light work, everybody would be doing their own business. Everybody would be a YouTuber. Everybody would be a content creator. Everybody would be whatever they wanted to be. It's not that simple though. It takes day in and day out. You make wrong decisions. You make right decisions. Sometimes you have to. For me, at least, I know other people are different, which is unfortunate. But me, I take in my morals and values when it comes to certain situations. Do I want to work with this situation? Does it align with me morally? I take that that's a high thing for me. If it's not morally aligned with me, if I don't believe in it, if it's not something that I would stand by, I do not work with it. And I've had a lot of different offers and deals and different things from some pretty powerful, strong people, man. But I was just like, it doesn't align with what I want and morally what this company or person stands for. And then I've had people try to buy out my company and be like, hey, you can be employee under your company. I'll buy it out for so-and-so. And then I can hire you and pay you X amount per year. Lots of different things. So you have to put on your business cap. You have to put on your creator cap. You have to put on, your communication skills cap, everything. You got to deal with personalities, different people, different deals, different things going on. So Dame Dash is going through his own turmoil right now, but he'll figure it out, man. He got to the position he's at in life and have seen millions of dollars for a reason. I think he's a very smart individual. I think people just clown him for different things because of the Jay-Z situation. They see Jay-Z's a billionaire and Dame Dash isn't, so Dame Dash failed. But we gotta when it comes to the Jay-Z and Dame Dash thing, we got to think about how Jay-Z already had a name built. Jay-Z's known more than Dame Dash is, and that helps him when it comes to, excelling in business. When more people know about you, the more they're going to want to work with you. And then Dame Dash got the brunt end of the deal. I saw Sha Money talk about his relationship with 50. I talked to him about his relationship with 50 during the Give Rich or Die Trying documentary, and a lot of it just boils down to miscommunication, egos getting involved. And then Sha just recently talked about it, and he was like, let's put everything, to the side, man. It is what it is. Things happen in the past. Let's move on. So I hope both relationships, Dame Dash and Jay-Z, get repaired. I hope Sha Money and 50 get repaired. Sha was even like, we don't have to work together. We just let's chat, man. Let's talk. Let's be friends again. We never have to make music together again. I would like personally for Sha Money to be involved in 50 Cent's, projects, anything that he does musically, because I think Sha Money was a key piece in 50's success musically. I've always said this. Drake is someone, the reason why he's had so much consistent success is because everyone that started with him is still with him. From engineers, producers, whatever. They're all still with him. And that plays a major role. I think when you start messing with that formula and you change things around, you eventually fall off and just people don't fuck with you anymore. And I think that happened with 50. I think there's a lot of examples of that. Like Chief Keef and Young Chop were like this, like glue. They were delivering insane great music, great chemistry. And then Chief Keef kind of just started doing his own thing. And then boom, the music just wasn't hitting like that. I think you got to stick with the formula. I think Eminem's had a longevity success because he sticked with Dr. Dre. Regardless if Dr. Dre's producing on an album or not, he still has Dre's ear close to him, and so on and so forth, man. There's a lot of examples of it, but this Dame Dash thing, all it shows to me is that he's not broke, because if he's making $70K a year, you're not broke. You're just dealing right now with a little bit of too much debt versus income, and that happens. But you can float that with more debt and more borrowing and lending and blah blah blah. So that's not a big deal. So. Yeah, that's just the kind of overall what I saw from this is that, business is business. It goes up, it goes down, and you have different types of things you got to deal with day in and day out. So, we'll keep our eye on this and see. I really, really hope that Dame Dash and Jay-Z can get their relationship mended. I think it would be really cool, especially for hip-hop culture and just for them, too, just to kind of, move on from the past, which I think they have, but it's like one thing they just like, hey, we just want to see it. We just want to see them kicking it, chill, laugh, stuff like that. So, yeah, we'll keep an eye out, and hopefully that, relationship gets mended.